Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 46 degree November the 17th. It's Monday. It's 48 degrees now. And I don't think it's supposed to rain, although it's been raining all night. It says rain in 2 days, so I like how the forecast, well, sometimes it's wrong, but sometimes it just keeps getting better. I won't complain about that. But anyway, whoa. Like there's a branch stuck in that tree. What in the holy heck? Isn't that crazy? Everything's gone. Gotta wait till next year. Anyway, let's head to Southland. Go to the JOB and pray there's some stuff to do. Alright, we'll see you there. Look at here. Have something on my bench. It was down here waiting for me when I showed up. So it's a 2019 RT Limited. I think I've worked on this thing multiple times. He's getting some engine codes while he was driving it, and so the service writer drove down here, had no engine codes, the light, and when I put it on the bench, had none. While doing my testing, which I had to hook up to it a couple of times because I tried to get Buds 2 to work on the older, prior to 2020. Once I got in, I had to go up and get the V800 Buds 2, which I already knew that, but I thought maybe the older Spyder had worked. Buds 2 just will not connect. It is absolutely written out. They said it was being phased out, and they meant it. I think officially November 10th was supposed to be the date, but we found it wasn't working before then. But she's gonzo bagondo. And anyway, I had to go up and retrieve the V800 and use the old BMW computer and hook up to it. Well, it's just a whole host of voltage issues. I'm going, this looks very familiar. So I test the battery. It's got 12.46 volts, which automatically that's too low. The health is like 5%, and the charge is roughly 80%. So he's got a good Yuasa battery in there. She gone. But he's got some aftermarket, looks like a little charger. You need to have a maintainer on these things, because a charger, even though a low amperage one, will sack that battery out, because it holds it, I've told this 1,000 times, it holds it at a steady voltage, and that's just as bad for a maintenance-free battery as just letting the thing sit. It needs to be cycled all the time. The best I've seen is the Optimates. You can even buy the inexpensive one, the Optimate 1, and it'll keep these things alive, because they put out 600 milliamps in these things in storage, roughly as much as 200 milliamps. So you win in the battle automatically. I would go with the Optimate 3 if you can. But those Optimate ones are just so useful. You just got a super long cord and you have one cord. You plug the unit itself into the wall. Well, you've seen them in my shop. And plug the other one to there, into the unit. And like you guys have seen in my shop, they're always cycling, they're always testing. They let them run down a little bit and then they'll boost them up. It's always testing, cycling, and charging. It only charges when it needs to. It plays games with it. These batteries need to be cycled all the time. And those Optimate, I'm sure the battery tender ones, I know they say automatic. In fact, I had a battery tender 800 is what it's called, that was on my venture down in the dungeon there, and it took 11 years. It was an 11-year-old battery. So it was 10 years since I put it in, and and it finally died this year. And that was with a battery tender 800. The 800 is a waterproof one, and it says automatic, which means it's maintaining them. I mean, heart of hearts, we sell a bunch. I have them here. I have them at home. All I have at home is Optimates. I trust them that much. I've just had way too many batteries, last 10 years. In some cases, better. The battery that's in my Venture is the same battery that the Spyder takes. And that thing lasts a long time. It may be the next step down. This is a YTX24, and I think it might be a YTX20 that my Venture has. But still, it's a large battery. But this charger, I'm not going to show you. I don't know if he watches the videos or what. I'm not, that's between him and I. But yeah, it's been actually they weren't that bad. I think they went way up. I think the one I just bought, that even though I've got our whole box itself has what do you call it, voltage spike, whatever protection, whatever they have for your house. And why it took that one out, I have no idea. And it was Moose branded, but it is an Optimate. Honda had them. I don't think Honda does it anymore, and I don't think Moose does it anymore either. The Optimates are just coming as Optimates. It may have been a thing they did. It's literally the same charger. Don't be fooled by the different name on it. You can just flip the thing around and you can look at an Optimate one and look at that. It's all the same thing. All the specs are the same. It even comes in the same box. The box has the branded colors on it. But at any rate, his battery's gone. He's complaining about his trunk being hard to open. And these old latches that these things used would gum up and rust up. The other thing too is some of these, but 2019 they cured that. But some of the older ones, the cable took a big dip when it came up and water could get in it. And caused him to corrode, but his cable's smooth. And I lubed up his latch. I pulled both the ears off of the access panels here and ragged it, because you'll get that. I use the fogging oil. The reason I use fogging oil is it clings to the metal, and it doesn't wash off easy. It lasts a very, very long time. You guys see me use that all the time. I lube side stands and anything that's exposed to any elements and you want it to be lubed, it works. It's a great lubricant. I mean, it's designed to fog your engine to protect your engine. So that's saying a lot. Good old stable fogging oil, and I would go with the stable brand. Don't mess around with it. You can get it at any auto parts store. But anyway, lubed a lot. The other thing is his rear trunk is literally a guillotine back there. You lift that thing up and you better get your fingers out of the way, or don't stick your nose looking in your bag too fast, because it's coming down at you. It's pretty obvious. The shock is gone. And for the 2020 and newer, I think those shocks are probably the same. Those shocks have been updated by BRP. There was a TST that recently came out that they're using different brackets and I think it's a shorter shock. I don't know, I have to read the thing, but they're being updated. You need to buy a different bracket and a different shock. So they've finally cured that thing, thankfully. All the ones that I've replaced on the 2020 and newer ones, mostly it's 20 through 23. Even though it's just that single driver's seat, the thing's sack right out. I even showed you guys there's a bracket that goes on there, and the shock has a different part number than the old one. And anyway, those never come back. In fact, I think I even have one of those brackets here somewhere. Yeah. Oh, it's buried down in my little BRP little cheater box there. But anyway, it's nice to have something to tinker with. Sun's out. Boys are busy upstairs. They're doing some PDIs and working on side-by-sides and watercraft. And bummer that I have to go chase down that V800 every time I need to hook up. It's slow now, but I mean, they're doing a lot of side-by-side. They're doing winterization on boats and doing, setup and stuff on the snowmobiles, because the snow season is upon us. In the mountains, of course. You always got snow in the mountains. Mount St. Helens is just white. It's beautiful. But in all those places, the elevation is, as the days get colder, the point where you can go snowmobiling, it gets lower and lower, is more accessible. So anyway, I'll go up with a list with the shock, and no parts needed for the front trunk. It just needs to be lubed up. And because you can open and close them with your finger. You can reach down here and close it, and then reach up, which you can reach very easy on the old style. Bam. Before, it'd go kunk. It had kind of a slow release to it. You get that. Just keep working it back and forth, and that stable will get down into the links, and it'd be years before he comes back. Even if he rides in the rain, which it kind of looks like he's got some road grime on it, so I'm assuming he is. And his complaint was that he had an engine light on. And I never finished my story. I tried to get Buds 2, didn't work. Then I put Buds 3 on with the V800. Had an update, and it said the vehicle must be on. And in all fairness, they tell you to, connect the thing to a charger when you're doing that, and I didn't. And so anyway, it took me a bit to get in to see what the codes were, and now it won't start. Now through a bunch of codes again. You get weird things like, there's a low voltage threshold, a cluster failure, improper shutdown of the cluster. You get DPS. You always get DPS codes. All that stuff that requires, proper voltage. If it's not there, they conk. But this being a 2019, that's not very old. That battery shouldn't be dead. That's precisely why I need to talk to him about a different, not charger, but a maintainer. It will charge a battery. The one I keep down here is an Optimate 3, and I think it's 800 milliamps. And the Optimate 1s, which is more than fine. Yeah, 0.8 amps. And the ones that plug in the wall, like I have on the Himalayans and the Grom and a bunch of stuff in there, it's a 0.6 amps or 600 milliamps. Works perfectly fine. Maybe that Himalayan battery, maybe the bigger one might be better, but it's so much easier to use them small ones. But that's the first time I've ever had a problem with an Optimate 1. I did have an Optimate 3, and it was an old Honda branded one that I think it suffered the same fate. It was during, voltage spikes and stuff, and we didn't have all that fancy stuff on that pole. That's why that cost us, geez, what was that, $8,000 or whatever it was for that pole? To do that box, that was not cheap. And they came back later and actually freaked me out because the alarm, all my cameras and stuff went off, and I even called the police on the poor guy because the name wasn't visible. And anyway, I called him right back. All of a sudden he shut his door, and I see the company name on there, and they thanked me actually for calling, so they didn't send somebody up there. But good thing to have that stuff. It alerts you. The things that get you is vehicle and people. When that pops over, that gets your attention. You gotta, what is that? But anyway, we'll go up there and let them know what this thing's gonna need. And you'll need a battery and a rear trunk shock. And that's it. Well, I'm gonna do a quick overview of the thing too. I'll do a safety inspection, make sure everything's okay. I think the rear tire looks like it's right at the 50% mark, which is fine. Yeah, it's just touching the 50% bars. There's your wear bar. So he's got a ways to go. There's no worry on the tires. The front, I don't know what the age of them are, but we worry about that when it's a trade-in, because legally we can't sell a bike with old tires on them. And our rule, I think, is 4 years, maybe 5. But anyway, I'll get it up in the air, and if I see any dry rotting or ozone exposure, I'll make notes of that. But cool, got something to tinker with. Almighty. That was scary last week. I hope this continues. It was actually on my schedule. That's cool. I didn't see it last week though. I didn't see anything on my schedule for this week. That's kind of scary. But I think the nicer weather, people are out. Some bike somebody's riding. Their sun comes out, people come out. Well, I turned in the safety inspection sheet and list of what she needs. A battery, and I put a suggestion for the seat shock because it's getting weak. I mean, I consider it hold it. If you carefully let go, it won't fall back down. You know how that is. You're right in the middle of putting fuel in it, and it comes crashing down on you and scare the heck out of you. And that oil, it's very black and it smells burnt. But Eco was on. But these are the ones that you can very quickly hit the button and turn Eco on and off. But it does smell, has that carbon smell, that black look to it. Like either it's been a long time since the oil's been changed, or worst of all, he's been riding around with the Eco on. That just heats them things up. Can't believe they got that. I'm sure they have to, to make it look like they're saving fuel and stuff. But anybody that uses it realizes really quick it works the other way. Plus, you're dealing with 25 or 30% less performance. They're downright boring to drive in eco mode, and you're in it so hard. We got hills and wind and everything around here. You don't gain anything. You lose fuel mileage. It has a reverse effect. Now you got this carboned up oil that's being hopefully recycled the right way, and I don't know. It has a reverse effect of what it's supposed to be doing. They run them in a controlled environment, probably in a vacuum, and they get 1 or 2 miles to the gallon more out of it. At certain speeds, and just unrealistic riding situations. Here in the Pacific Northwest, you got mountains and a lot of wind. And anyone that pays attention to it realizes they're losing fuel mileage. But anyway, it's in the hands of the service advisor to contact the customer, see what they want to do. I mean, right away it needs the battery. I mean, you can still ride it with the shocks, and even if he doesn't change the oil, well, I would definitely change it. His brake fluid was, the front cup was at 1%, and I think it started to go to 2, and the rear cup, which is the front brakes, it went to 2, just kind of hung out there. So I put it, both of them are at 2. It's close enough. I mean, you could, at that, I would, take another close look at it in a year. If it was mine at 2%, these things, I don't know how they do so well, but it takes a while to get the moisture in there. But at 2%, I would flush it, but that's an expense, this time of year that probably people don't want to deal with. But I would want that to be nice and fresh. And both, oddly enough, the pads, they're 60+% all the way around the pads. I mean, they're fine. And it's weird that the fluid level was as low as what it was. In fact, the rear, which is the front cup for the front, was low enough you think it'd get some low fluid level warnings or something, but it didn't. There's none of that in the code. Anyway, about the time to roll out of here in about 20 minutes. We'll wrap up a Monday. It was nice out there today. I didn't want to take, because if I ride it, it's going to throw more codes, and I don't see anything that tells me I need to take it for a ride. I mean, everything looks fine. just the battery, some shocks, and go to oil change. I don't know how long it's been, or the miles he's gone or whatever, but anyway, that's my suggestion. And the seat shock and the oil change is not what he came in here for. It was the front trunk, the warning lights, and the rear trunk shock. The front trunk was just a dry and squeaky, actually, front latch. They'll do that. Oh, sorry we didn't do a little thing in the parking lot. Maybe some of you probably don't care for that anyway, but anyway, we're running a little late, and I said, let's just roll. I meant to say that when I first came on, but I spaced it. But anyway, we'll see you at the hacienda here before you know it. Well, hello there, YouTube. Much nicer day today, even though it kind of got cloudy for a while. It's actually quite nice.
It's getting cold, though.
Yeah, it's getting cold. It's already cool. Stars out there tonight. It's nice having something waiting for me to work on when I got there today. It's a big difference. But I think with that, we're going to make it short and sweet. Roll on out on you.
Righty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same Smoak time, same Smoak channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And you guys have a wonderful Tuesday or Wednesday.
Thank you. Appreciate you listening to me rattling on down the shop today.
Well, it was y'all's turn.
Anyway, appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.